Hey there, guys and gals. This is Patrick from the Number 9 with Tommy podcast. You know how much we love talking about the silliest stuff we can, but there's something else worth talking about. Suicide doesn't end the chances of life getting worse. It eliminates the possibility of it ever getting any better. So please, never, never, never give up. If you're thinking about ending your life, call 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. It's so common in our society to hate our neighbors without any reason. Trust me when I tell you, there's lots of people who love you with and without reason. If you're looking for a reason not to kill yourself, this is it. Again, that number, 1-800-273-8255. I say, good day. Good day, ma'ams and sirs, and welcome to episode 73 of the greatest piece of artwork to hit the airwaves since those old AT&T commercials with Bob We Atta Baby Eats a Boy. We're coming to you live on YouTube. Well, that's not true anymore. And anywhere that you find yourself listening to podcasts about sports, politics, and true crime. My name is Patrick. I host this show where I begin each episode with a quick intro and, of course, probably just a few rhymes. We're closing in on the first year, and it's been more fun than going through a divorce or burning in a fire. Tom fucking Washington, let's get this show started. The Number Niners are burning with desire.
That was a weak intro, Pat.
That was what?
A weak intro.
You're weak.
Also, I would never consider our podcast on a true crime podcast platform.
I didn't say it was true crime.
But you said wherever you listen to your true crime podcast.
I also said your sports and politics podcast. I was just listening.
We do talk about sports and politics.
I didn't want to say you can find this where you find all your other podcasts because it's very difficult to rhyme 9,000 different words with podcasts. And I've rhymed several times with podcasts, so I had to add to it. So I chose to add a couple categories of podcasts. I didn't say that we were in those categories of podcasts.
Okay. I feel like people listening may have thought that we were going to do some true crime today.
Well, you and them, all wrong.
We should do some true crime today.
We probably will get to some true crime today. And then, next week, I'm going to write about how our podcast is a true crime podcast.
So, we tried to record this on YouTube today. And because Pat's always never prepared and always late.
Always never.
We're late at Pat's house today for some reason. And
Tom showed up unprepared.
Not true. I show up here an hour before we were supposed to go live. We went live. Nobody was watching. We really didn't have a lot of content prepared. So we decided to cut the live feed and bring you guys another amazing episode. So here we are. What the fuck are you doing? A lot of dead air here, Pat. A lot of dead air.
I wanted to get my pop filter away from my microphone.
Oh, because we're not live, so nobody has to see your.
I was just curious how it would go.
It's probably going to sound fine.
It took me a second, but I got it.
Pat, what did you do yesterday?
Yesterday I worked. I went to Elizabeth's sister and brother-in-law's house for some barbecue and friendship. They have a cat that I think is blind in one eye.
That's new for you, huh? Friendship?
It's very nice. It's a super friendly cat, except you can't pick it up or really touch it. But like it wants to be next to you and like rub against you, but then when you reach for it, it runs away. It was pretty fancy.
Fancy.
Yeah. It was an eventful cat.
Well, Pat, I went against my will. I got my first COVID-19 vaccine shot yesterday.
You were halfway to immortality.
So really, you asked me why the change of heart.
Yeah.
Yesterday. And I'm going to tell you the real reason, Pat.
Because you're somebody's bitch.
No, I'm going to tell you the honest to God real reason. It's because I'm a rule follower, Pat. If I'm anything, I'm a rule follower. And when I heard that I don't have to wear my mask anymore if I have this fucking vaccine, like that's a guaranteed, I'm not going to have to wear the mask. I said, well, it's time for me to get the vaccine.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't do it if I didn't have the vaccine because I wouldn't feel right.
Right.
I'd feel like I was lying, and I'm not a big person when it comes to lying. So, in order for me to feel good about it, that I'm a rule follower, I'm going to go get the vaccine. I will say, I've handled it much better than you handled either of your shots.
Different brand.
Sure, whatever you say.
I had Moderna. My first shot was not the most pleasant thing in the world. I did work the next day. You took the next day off, just saying.
I did not. I was scheduled off the next day. I also planned my vaccine accordingly.
I did not plan my vaccine at all.
Yeah.
So, there's that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm glad that my second shot is through. I'm fully immune to all things. And
2 weeks after your second shot.
I will live in eternity as an immortal among men.
2 weeks after your second shot, you're fully vaccinated.
What?
2 weeks after your second shot is when you're considered fully vaccinated.
I don't understand. I've been immortal for a week now.
Nope, not at all.
I'm almost
positive. Did you hear about that Yankees baseball player that not only is fully vaccinated, but has contracted COVID twice?
I heard that there were like 7, 8, or 9. I can't remember the number. It was definitely in that ballpark of Yankees players. This was actually thrown in my face by a coworker because for whatever reason he wanted to like have a straight up argument about the vaccine. And I'm not very argumentative about the vaccine. I understand why people get it. I understand why people don't get it. And I don't give a shit what you do. But he was explaining that you can still get COVID after the vaccine. And I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. It's a vaccination. And he was like, yeah, man, a bunch of Yankee players did. And I was like, oh, okay. But like, again, still not arguing, but I did hear about it.
It is only 95%. Depending on which one you get, it ranges from 80% effective to 95% effective against not contracting it.
Okay.
Either way, I think it's hilarious that this guy. So there's 7 or 8 players on the team that were asymptomatic, meaning they tested positive but had no symptoms. This one guy has had it twice now with full blown symptoms, and the only thing I can think of is that guy's immune system is shot.
Could be, or maybe he's the exception to the rule, the exception that proves the rule. If there's a way to increase the odds of not getting it, I personally think it makes sense to take advantage of it. People are like, oh, well, you don't understand the long-term side effects of what can come from the vaccine. I'm like, but that's okay, because I don't understand the long-term side effects of what can come from COVID-19. So it's a coin flip, right? But one side of the coin looks a little better to me than the other side, so I'm going to go with what I feel are the right odds.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
I'm also someone who, generally speaking, believes that we should follow government guidelines. I get that there are conspiracy theorists out there who are like, no, the government just wants everybody to die, which makes no sense at all whatsoever.
That actually makes a lot of sense, but
why would the government want everybody to die? Then they would govern nothing.
They would govern themselves.
Not if everybody dies.
There would
be nothing left.
They want to be in complete control all the time.
Of nothing?
Yes.
That makes no sense.
They're crazy, bro.
Well, that's true. But if we have doctors and people in the medical field who are saying that your best shot for long-term success is getting vaccinated, it just makes sense to me that I go get vaccinated. I don't know either way. I don't know. But that's like saying I don't know the truth behind the conspiracies either. I don't. So I'm going to take the best shot that I think that I have. I heard something the other day, and it was probably one of the smartest things I've ever heard said nonchalantly. The person said, anything that you don't understand can have a conspiracy behind it. And that's true. I don't know how these vaccines are created. I don't know what happened in the lab. I don't know the truth behind any of it. So it's easy for me to believe 1,000 different conspiracies about them because I don't know the truth. So then those conspiracies that come from some of them complete fabrication and somebody can make something up based on the knowledge that they do have. So, okay, let's start with the government says you should get vaccinated. Okay, well, the government's the head of the conspiracy, right? They're working off the information that they already have, where the people who are saying you should get vaccinated are not starting with the government says I should do it. They're starting with the government has been told by the medical community that you should do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
It makes any conspiracy that went. Now I thought about it for a long time after I heard it. And I was like, "That's true." Like 9/11 was an inside job. That's easy to say because you don't know what the fuck happened behind 9/11.
I mean, yeah, I'm with you. One of my biggest things is I didn't know, like, I don't think the government's trying to trick us into anything or anything like that with the vaccine. My biggest hang up with it is we don't know the long-term side effects of it. Like Pat said, we don't really know the long-term side effects from COVID. So that's a fair point. I do know this. I've been working in the public since COVID, and to my knowledge, I've never contracted it. So that being said, like, am I really worried about getting it? No, not really. What I am really worried about is, one, is the mask thing, but two, in July, I have a international trip planned. And guys, I'm watching Pat fuck with his mute button on his mic, and it took him about 46 times to hit the fucking button. Anyway, I have a planned trip in July to go out of the country, and what I'm worried about is that June 1st, out of nowhere, the government's going to be like, no more international travel unless you have the vaccine card. And I got to tell you, I'm not going to waste $3,500 when I can go get a Pfizer shot for free. That just makes no sense. And like I told Pat yesterday, if we're all going to die from the COVID shot, I don't want to be left here without you, because probably you're going to be all zombies, and I don't want to have to fight all you guys off. I'm going to end up being a zombie anyway. So,
yeah, the person who was being argumentative with me also said, like, you have no idea what you're putting in your body. You don't know what those chemicals will do. And I was like, bro, have you ever drank a Snapple? Yeah. I was like, do you know what's in fucking Snapple? Because I have no idea, but I have no problem drinking a Snapple. And, like, in my bloodline, we could have a really bad effect with Snapple. We don't know until the first person drinks it. I mean, how many people would have...
Do they even make Snapple anymore?
Yeah. The Snapple packs are the best fucking drink cap you can get, man.
No, it was Sobe.
Sobe? What did Sobe do?
Sobe did the same thing. I don't think it was facts. They did, like 20 seconds.
No, my point... So, like, you know, everybody... Because he was like, well, Snapple's been around a long time. It's been tested. I'm like, okay, well, so was peanut butter until the early 90s. And then people started dying from peanut butter. You know what I mean? Like, all these things have been around a really long time. Beef could start killing you tomorrow. But you're worried about this little shot? Hey, how... Did you feel this shot go into you?
That was like a little pin, like, almost nothing.
Crazy, right? It was like a nothing shot.
Well, I gotta be honest with you, Pat. I haven't had a shot in, I told the lady yesterday, probably 20 years. I don't remember what it feels like to get a shot.
Nothing.
So
it feels like nothing.
It pretty much felt how I expected. No, I will tell you this. The only side effect I have from this shot is my arm is sore.
Yeah.
In the area where they shot me. So, other than that, completely fine. I have a little bit of a headache, but I think that's from Pat's dog barking upstairs. Felt fine yesterday. That was actually going to lead me into my next thing why I asked you what you did yesterday. I did so much fucking yard work yesterday, Pat. It's unbelievable.
What'd you do?
So I don't know if I told the story on the podcast. I think I did, about me buying Erica the leaf blower for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to bamboozle me and waste one of my gifts for Christmas for that. So I bought her one for Mother's Day. But with that, I bought a still combi unit. You know what a combi unit is, obviously.
I do.
For those of you listening at home, if you don't know what a combi unit is, what it is the power head. But then you can buy different attachments, like the weed whacker attachment, or a sweeper attachment, or a rototiller attachment. Luckily for me, I bought all three of those attachments, plus a backpack leaf blower. Yeah, kind of a big deal. So Erica and I start working on the yard. Now, I have, last year, if any of you have been to my house, you know about the sinkhole in the backyard. I had a sinkhole in my backyard that was easily a foot deep, but it was about 6 feet around. It was huge. So last year I had some
basically look like your backyard got hit by a crater or
like an asteroid. Yeah. So last year I had some fill brought in. I filled it in, but I messed up and I didn't get any topsoil for this. So I've been having a really hard time growing grass in these areas. I keep planting it, I water it, it doesn't grow. Also, with the lack of rainfall last year, my front yard got destroyed. Like, all burnt out, no grass, very rough.
Yeah.
So we started out by just tilling up the areas that we filled in with the sinkhole. We tilled that with the new tiller. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the whole front yard with this thing. Now, mind you, this...
With a handheld tiller.
Yeah, it's like...
That's amazing.
It's not even a tiller. It's what it actually is a soil cultivator.
Yep.
So if you're easy with it, it won't actually rip up your grass. What it does is
it just turns the dirt.
it almost it acts as a dethatcher.
Yeah.
Okay, but it gets all that dead shit up. So I started doing that in my front yard, and I go crazy with it. Because I thatched my lawn a couple weeks ago, because I have one of those pull behind thatchers with this like little metal claws that just pulls it all up. This thing did 10 times the job that thing did.
Huh.
So I did pretty much my whole front yard, did that, went and got, I think I ended up buying 12 bags of topsoil to spread topsoil in all these areas. I got grass mulch, or it's like shredded hay. Put that down, I seeded my whole lawn. So I'm really hoping this grass comes in. I did all that. I used the backpack leaf blower and blew back all the leaves in the woods, because that is what Erica wants done with that.
We're supposed to get rain today, right?
I have no idea.
You're hoping.
Well, if I've put Erica and Colin in charge of making sure, because I do work long hours, I don't get home till probably 6:30 most nights. So I said, you guys are in charge of making sure that these areas with the straw down, at the very least, if not the front yard as well, gets watered nightly. Because that's our biggest problem is I could have probably saved the yard last year if I would have watered it.
Yeah.
And I didn't, so we need to get better at doing that. But I'm really hoping that we grow in some grass. I also remember last year where we set up the pool.
Yeah.
I
super level.
Well, not only that, I didn't make it big enough.
Okay.
So a couple of the edges were up on like little hills. So I went with the tiller yesterday and tore up about 6 inches to a foot all the way around it. So the dirt's already broken up, and it will be easier for us to extend that area and make it more level when it's time to set up the pool next week or so.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what we did yesterday. And then if you guys were watching, Number 9 Media on Twitch, I streamed for about 4.5. I got on around 8:30, didn't get off till about 1. Streamed for a couple hours of Panachronic and Phobic. And then we're here. We're doing this. Now, Pat, this just caught me out of the corner of my eye. You have a Miller Lite can on your what looks like your wrestling stuff over there.
Yes, I do.
Is that an act? Like, is that a Miller Lite can that you found and just added it as memorabilia, or is that one that Stone Cold actually used?
Stone Cold drank Steve Weiser's, not Miller Lite. That can is from a gentleman by the name of the Sandman. The Sandman used to come out to the Metallica song "Enter Sandman," and he would drink a beer. First off, he had a lit cigarette on his way down to the ring, so he would smoke a cigarette, get down to the ring, drink a beer, and then crush the can on his head. That's why the can's crushed. So he normally would do that, and by the time the match started, he was bleeding from smashing the can against his fucking face. So when he threw the can on the ground, I ran over and grabbed the can. That is the Sandman's actual beer can, and then I went after the show, took a picture with the Sandman and the beer can. He was actually really excited. I was like, "Hey man, I got your can." And he was like, "Nice, we should get a picture." I was like, "Yeah, that's why I'm here."
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
It was a good day. Mason was there.
Fuck you, Mason.
That's one.
So yeah, so that's pretty much my day. So Pat and I have discussed on what we're going to talk about today. You want to grab the first topic there, Pat?
Yeah. What do you want to do first?
I don't go fuck. Pick one.
Okay.
You know what? While we're talking about COVID stuff, right? Because that's really how we led off the conversation. Let's talk about what Ohio is doing.
Okay.
Ohio is starting May, I think it's 28th, I want to say, going to be doing a lottery for anybody that is fully vaccinated over the age of 18 and they're going to do it for 5 consecutive weeks. They're going to give away $1 million to a fully vaccinated person to help encourage people to get vaccinated. Also, they came out and said that they're going to raffle off at the same time, those 5 weeks, to one person under the age of 18, a full ride scholarship to a state school. Pat, what are your thoughts?
I think it's a great way to fulfill your obligation, getting people vaccinated. I mean, you are going to entice the people, especially your lottery folks, to get in there. The odds of you winning this $1 million when there are 5 people getting it out of only the number of people who have been vaccinated are significantly higher than your odds of winning the lottery in Ohio. So if you're a lottery player, you should definitely go get vaccinated.
So here's my question. Is that $1 million taxable, or is that free and clear, we're going to give you $1 million?
That's a good question.
Because can you tax the tax money that they're giving away?
But if they're calling it a lottery, it's probably going to be taxed like the lottery.
Well, still, I mean, so you figure they're probably going to walk away with about $600,000.
Yeah.
Do you consider $600,000 life-changing money?
Yes. It's not retirement money, but it's absolutely life-changing.
Yeah,
if somebody gave me $100,000, I would say it was life-changing.
I don't know what I would do with $600,000.
Well, you could pay off everything you owe to everybody you owe and still have enough money to do a lot.
Yeah, I'd probably retire.
It's tough to retire on $600,000.
Oh, I'm not going to retire on $600,000. I'm going to retire because my wife makes enough money where I don't have to work.
Oh, you personally, yeah, and leave her at work. I mean, you could argue that at least for the next 10 years, you're still making $60,000 a year.
Well, kind of. I mean, that's if we at least 35.
Yeah.
You know, after pay everything off and everything.
No.
Like the house.
Don't pay everything off. Say, I'm slowly taking my payout. I'm taking $60,000 a year.
Yeah, we're gonna take $5,000 a month for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And then in 10 years, if I want to work, we will.
There you go. Ohio, since they're in the hot seat now, Ohio is ending the extended federal unemployment benefits, the $300 a week, which is obviously over $1,200 a month.
They stop the federal unemployment
because they have already announced that they are stopping it. Here's the thing.
How do they stop the federal?
Because everybody's saying, oh, it's impossible for me to find work because of the coronavirus, and because nobody's hiring. So Ohio went, well, here's the thing. We can't find enough employees to run the state. There's nobody going to work. So they're going to end the unemployment so that people have to go back to work. And with the timing of the federal government dropping this whole mask thing and offering a free vaccination, you really don't have an excuse to not go back to work.
I have a follow-up question to this because I didn't set up my vaccination. My wife did. Because you have to put in your insurance information. So I assume the insurance companies are paying for people who are insured, and the people that are not insured are being taken care of by the federal government.
Yeah, and it's not nearly. We looked up the price, and it's not nearly as expensive as I expected it to be. I want to say it was like $40 for the vaccine. Still, I mean, 40 times how many? What 65% of Americans are fully vaccinated?
I don't think it's that high. I think 65% has had at least one shot.
Okay, so let's call it 50% maybe are fully vaccinated out of 330 million Americans. By my math, that's 115 million people times the $40 shot. Everybody's making good money off this thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how much money we sunk into getting it. I mean, they're all making the fucking killing. Either way, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? They gotta make their money.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm more amped for these kids under 17. That's or 17 and under. They have a chance to win a full ride for college. That's pretty cool. I'm not a big college guy, but I mean that's at least you're spreading it evenly across the board.
Yeah.
Now, how does that work? Do you think that because they're going to be paid for it technically, like the state's going to pay for their tuition?
Yeah.
Do you think they have to register that as income?
Yeah, I assume they'll be taxed on it when they use it, not when they earn it. Yeah, well, I guess you can't really say earn when they're given it.
Yeah.
I assume it will be taxable income once it's used. Is it a free education for the price of taxing it?
Yeah, taxes are expensive.
My thought would be I had no intention of ever going to college. I never once.
Yeah, so what happens for those people that
Yeah, I don't know. But I never in my life did I plan on going to college. So I would be really disappointed with winning a free education.
Yeah,
maybe they can opt for the money.
I doubt it.
I also doubt it.
Also,
now,
why
I
is
might have if somebody had given me $1 million to go to college, I might have gone to a trade school.
Like that would have been nice.
Yeah.
Like, at least then you'd be able to hang a wall mount on the wall by yourself.
I can hang a wall mount on the wall by myself. I have a new level with the keychain. No, I got another new level. I got another new level.
I don't think the level is your problem with hanging the wall mount on the wall.
That's the most difficult part.
I don't think that is.
For me, it is.
I think
I borrowed from the sergeant major. He has this laser level. You just put it down anywhere, and it makes the whole. It puts the level around the whole room. Fucking sweet. That's why I did this room.
See, yeah. What I was gonna say there. I think it's fucked up that the adults are getting $1 million and these kids are maybe getting $160,000 education.
What do you mean for college?
Yeah, because the state schools say it's $40,000, right?
Say it's not. What state schools $40,000? Let's look it up.
Look up what. I would say Ohio state schools probably average around $40,000 a year.
Tuition to Ohio State University. 4 years.
Bum, bum, bum.
Based on published tuition prices, we estimate the current cost of a 4-year bachelor's degree and living expenses at Ohio State University to be $111,648, assuming graduation in normal time. The estimation assumes a 2.2 annual increase over the next 4 years, which has been the recent trend for this school. So that's not terrible. That's just under $30,000 a year.
Yeah, that's less than I thought.
So that's good. You get your tuition paid and maybe a car.
And I don't think they get a car either.
That sucks.
They get their tuition paid, which is $110,000.
Right.
And if they're smart, they're gonna try and do it with all 17-year-olds that are going to college next year, because then the price isn't going to go up that much.
That's interesting. This is the same question being answered by a different source. It says it's $11,518 a year for Ohio residents and $33,502 for out of state. It's 3 times as much to go from out of state.
UConn's like that, or significantly more money for out of state.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but
yeah, especially since that school is there. I mean, to make money. Let's be honest.
I mean, but that other one, it probably averages those two, which is around $20,000, and then they're including the living expenses.
Right.
So that sounds about right. Jesus, I'm dying. Should have got that bottle of water. So what's up? What else is on the agenda?
Oh my god, I'm looking at the average tuition for 4-year public school in every state, and the first thing I do is pull up the 4 states it shows. Connecticut is the highest, of course.
At what, $55,000 a year?
No, it's 30 something. So now I'm looking. I'm poking through. I think I've got them in alphabetical order. I'm gonna go with the biggest increases. Jesus. Alaska's going up 25%, Louisiana 22%, Connecticut 19%. Wisconsin's going down, Washington's going down. That's interesting. There are states going down in college tuition costs. Indiana's going down, Florida's going down. Hey, did you see, speaking of Florida, DeSantis? I'm so confident that if Donald Trump is alive in 2024 for the election,
DeSantis is running it.
Oh yeah, it's going to be Trump DeSantis. Pence is out. DeSantis goes publicly and says there was a husband and wife who refused to close during the pandemic. They run a gym, like a workout area, and they refused to close down. DeSantis, they got arrested. They're facing jail time. DeSantis goes on publicly pardons them and says, while we're on the subject, everybody with, tickets, violations, pending criminal charges, whatever, related to masks, I'll be pardoning them as well.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to get back to that. We're going to get back to how that goes. As far as the tuitions, Connecticut is so far the highest head and shoulders that I've seen. Let's see.
I don't understand. Dandruff?
No, like they're higher by a decent amount. Michigan is higher. Probably because they're still trying to fix their fucking water.
That's
Holy
one
shit.
little part.
North Dakota. If you're single, right, and like kind of a loner, North Dakota is the greatest place on the planet.
It really is.
Yeah, it's so cheap They pay ridiculously well. So it goes. What was the one that I said was the most expensive? No, there was one more.
Michigan?
Yeah, so it's Vermont, Virginia, Michigan, Connecticut.
Hold on, Vermont. Bernie Sanders.
Vermont is averages 41,000. They're actually the only ones that are above 40.
So Bernie Sanders' home state
Yes.
is the highest, and he wants to give everybody free college tuition.
Well, that's misleading. It's not that he wants to give everybody free college tuition. It's that the people who have college debt, he's saying, just don't pay it. Period. Leave them in the dust. It's not my tax money's going to pay them out or anything like that. It's fuck the institution. Don't pay it.
Yeah, but that's not how that works.
That's Bernie's plan. Yeah, absolutely.
No, because
the government's not going to bail the colleges out, and the government's not going to bail the banking institutions out.
What you're not understanding is most of those loans are government subsidized loans. So the schools already got paid. The government is the one who's not going to get paid.
That's still fine by Bernie Sanders.
Well, that's Bernie Sanders is a fucking idiot. Because you know what? The government is going to get paid. It's just going to come out of everybody else's pocket.
The plan is an answer to a decades-old issue where we told everybody for decades to go to college. This is how you set yourself apart from the pack. This is born out of necessity. And the banks said, well, during whatever loose fiscal financial period it was, they said if more people want to go to college, we'll just give more people more money to go to college. And the schools went, well, if you're going to give more people more money to go to college, we're going to raise the cost of going to college because we stand to benefit. So the banks went, well, if you're going to raise the cost, we're just going to give more people extra money because it costs more. So the schools went, well, fuck, if that's your answer, then we're going to raise the cost of tuition. So it's gotten out of control because the banks and the educational institutions have continued to volley back and forth. So Bernie Sanders' solution to that is, fuck them. It's very simple. Walk away from it because they haven't considered you any step of the way, so you don't consider them. Just walk away. Yeah, I really, I don't know much about Bernie. I know that he's super popular with liberals, not at all popular with conservatives. That particular thing, that particular plan, to me makes so much sense because you're going. It does. You guys did this on purpose. You were in control of your actions and you acted irresponsibly. So fuck you all.
It does. But at the end of the day, the people that get hurt by that, because like I said, the government is not going to get their money. You know what I mean? So what they're going to do is, all right, instead of paying 18% taxes, we're going to raise everybody's taxes to 22%, and we're going to get our fucking money. Because they're never not going to go without their money. Again with the mute.
Maybe Bernie, and I don't know, because again, I don't know much about Bernie Sanders. Maybe his thought is this will not lead to a tax increase because at the end of the day, the government has gotten what they fairly deserved. Because again, it never should have gotten out of control. Yeah. So they could have gotten paid a reasonable amount of money for what they've put out, and let's call it over. I do want to jump back. How do you feel? And I get DeSantis' plan. I get that he wants to decriminalize everything related to masks and take out all the fiscal penalties and everything. But going backward, and we see this with like marijuana. When somebody legalizes marijuana, they release prisoners and stuff like that have marijuana-related crimes because it's no longer against the law. How do you feel about that? About going backwards? Because at the time, you broke the law.
I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with
you. How about we translate it in any other language, right? So let's call it a relationship. You break up with a girl for cheating on you, right? But now you're no longer together. So you forgive her because it's not like you're dating. So now you can date again because you've forgiven the past indiscretions. It makes no sense to me. You can't say, well, it's no longer against the law. Like, well, it's okay for you to sleep with other people now because we're not together. So it's okay that you did it while we were together. No. No, if you broke the fucking law, you should be punished for breaking the law. If it's no longer against the law when you get back out, feel free to do it again because it's not against the law now. But jeez,
it's sick. I'm kind of with you on this one.
Yeah, it does not make sense to me. All the people who did follow the mask mandate, right, face the same exact repercussions as those who didn't. So all you've said is, you don't have to listen to us.
Well, I think his point is that it was dumb law.
Okay. Dumb laws exist, man. That doesn't change them. What changes them is changing the law, and then there's no longer that dumb law in place. It doesn't make sense to me.
Based off your analogy, what you're saying makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that.
So you think if I got arrested because I sold, I don't know, 4 pounds of
pounds?
Yeah, 4 pounds of pot.
What state?
Connecticut. Okay. But then Connecticut tomorrow says it is not illegal to possess pot. It is illegal to distribute pot, but the punishment for distributing pot is a fine. So now, even though I've served 12 months of my 5-year sentence, they let me out of prison and just say I owe the money. You think that that's reasonable? Because at the time I got arrested, there was a law in place.
Yeah, I do.
You think it's reasonable to go backward like that?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I could see your point why you don't like it, but I think it's especially for pot, man. It's not like this is the best way I could put it.
Yeah.
To make sense for me. Like, I wouldn't agree with it with like a pedophile or something if we legalized
they're actually
raping little kids.
Well, hold on, because that's one that's coming. It's coming. Not that they'll legalize raping children.
What the fuck?
But no, there are tons of people who are talking about pedophilia being a mental disorder. So, if pedophilia gets labeled a mental disorder, now we're going to let people out of prison who previously were guilty of a criminal action, who are now going to use a medical defense and get let out of prison, even though when they did it, it was a criminal act. I mean, this is on the way. We're in the middle of the hashtag Me Too movement, and that pendulum is going to swing the other way.
I'm not okay with that. I guess, Pat, it's like my good friend Pat McAfee likes to say, situations are situational. And, everything is all different, right? Like, I guess it depends on what it is. If it's weed or fucking mass or, we're not talking about murder or something like that. Like, I'm okay with it. Like I said, the pedophile thing, not okay with that. Murder, not okay with that. Selling drugs, depending on what kind of drug it is, not okay with that.
What about in, Colorado, who decriminalized all drugs?
That was like Washington State or something.
There's somebody up there. Man, it wasn't Colorado.
I think it was Washington State.
It could have been Washington State, but okay.
Or Oregon.
So, you know what? I think it was Oregon.
Yeah.
So you have all those people who have dealt, crack, heroin, meth.
Yeah, do I think they should be out of prison? No, not necessarily.
Even though they've decriminalized it.
I don't give a fuck.
But with the mask thing, you do think that they should go that route.
Like I said, situations are situational.
I hate the gray, man. I do. I think that's actually a perfect example. If you're going to do it with masks, then you have to do it with the drug stuff, and I just don't agree. You can't tell me for, the first 18 years of my life that it's illegal to sell crack, or to, I guess, do crack, because I'm pretty sure that dealing narcotics is still criminalized. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't.
It's okay to possess it. It's okay to use it. It's not okay to distribute
if you criminalize it, probably comes with a fine.
Right. But you can't tell me for 18 years that I'll go to jail for smoking crack, and then I go to jail, and a week later you go, oh, actually, we've changed our mind. You can actually smoke the crack. You just have to pay us if we catch you. That's insane to me.
But if you were in those shoes, wouldn't you want to be laughed at?
let's
out of
say
prison for that?
let's say you're going down I-84.
You're a real stickler in these fucking masks, huh?
No, it has nothing to do with the math. It's the principle. You're going down I-84, okay? You're traveling eastbound at 86 miles an hour. That's reckless driving. Anything over 20 miles an hour over the speed limit is reckless driving. Your car gets impounded and you get in prison. This isn't the first time they've caught you recklessly driving, and it's always on I-84.
It would never happen on my phone.
On your phone?
No, if you look at I have an app watching me and my driving habits, and I'm an excellent driver.
Anyways,
I am. I'll show you later.
You get arrested for reckless driving. You get imprisoned for reckless driving. And then they change the speed limit on 84. They add a lane, right? And the speed limit on 84 goes from 65 to 75. Now, your 86 miles an hour is no longer reckless driving. Should you stay in prison
No.
because you had previously broken the law? Or should you be out of prison because you had only previously broken the law?
Gotcha.
Okay, so we're back to that again. So the drug thing is where you're...
Situations are situational, Pat.
It's all
That's
of it.
what I'm saying. Like the mask thing, I don't think anybody should get in trouble for anything to do with.
I agree. I don't think they should have to begin with.
I don't think so either. But that's my point. It's like in that situation, then no, I don't. But with drugs or even like certain drugs too, right? Like weed, who gives a fuck? But with these other stuff,
So, okay. The company that you work for requires you to wear a uniform, right? But every day you come in wearing jeans. And eventually they fire you. And then they say, you know what? Times have changed. We're going to be a little more lax. We're going to get rid of the uniform policy, and you can wear a uniform top and jeans if you choose. Do you just automatically have your job back? Because you're no longer breaking the rules.
it wouldn't be automatic, Pat, but I bet you I can go reapply.
And say what? I know I was a fucking nightmare because I wouldn't do what you told me to do. But now I'm ready to do what you told me to do because I agree with your policies. Like there's a tiered system here, right? If the government puts a law in place, you gotta follow the law. If your workplace puts a rule in place, you gotta follow the rule. Otherwise, it's fucking chaos. And we're rewarding these people. We're saying, hey, we see the point that you had previously made. We now agree with that point, and it's almost like an apology. Like, we're sorry that we punished you. We take it back.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. If anything, for me, fuck.
Tom, if you could die quietly on the show, that'd be great.
If anything, for me, it's them saying, admitting they fucked up.
Did they?
But that's
what
their
was
way.
The fuck up? So they were fed information. They made the best decision available at the time based on what they knew, and you went against it. You said, I'm smarter than you, I know better than you, and you did what you thought
and
was
obviously
best.
DeSantis thinks that's true, that they were, whatever, thinks that they're right. They were smarter than him and that they shouldn't be in trouble.
Okay, so what's the line? Because if you see somebody suspicious walking down the street, okay?
See something, say something.
Nope. You shoot that person in their fucking face. And you say, I didn't know if they were going to turn and come into my house. So the law is if they break into your house, you could shoot them in the face. But now, you're smarter than the government. It doesn't fucking matter what the government thinks. I'm looking at it on a different scale. Yes, absolutely. It's a different situation. But it's the same principle. There's a rule in place, and I don't agree with the rule, so I'm going to act the way I think is best. By that logic, 90% of us are still beating the shit out of our kids.
Pat, you're asking a guy who's like you. You're
asking a guy who would happily beat the shit out of his kid.
No, you're asking this to a guy who is 100% like you in the fact of, if you're asked to do something, just do it, follow the rules, i.e., that's why I got a vaccine. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not an against the grain kind of guy, but I believe that every situation is a little bit different. I'm not upset about the mask thing.
But I think it's important to... We're also not talking about... I'm not saying that the people who go against the grain or in the wrong in any way. If those people chose to go against the grain, there's a way to do that. You can fight that system. You can, petition. You can do things to get those rules changed.
Well, shit. Who's not to say that these gym owners are the ones that help the change?
What do you think that they did that helped the change?
They kept their business open.
And that affected the change how?
Well, people
you think that the federal government was like, listen, there's these 2 gym owners down in Florida. And they're smarter than us. So everybody take your mask off.
I wasn't in that room.
The only person that could have worked with is Biden himself. Biden, I could very easily see being like, we've reconsidered. And these 2 people have made a decision that has affected my thinking. Other than that, I don't think the whole government was swayed by them.
Here's the thing, right? We've also, through this whole thing, Pat, if you really think about it, we've been told wearing a mask isn't going to make a difference. Then we were told, wear a mask. Then we were told 6 feet apart. Then we were told it doesn't matter if you're 70 feet apart, same chance of transmission.
How'd you skip over this is only going to last 2 weeks?
Yeah.
That's the best one.
This is only the last couple weeks. Maybe you should start double masking, is what Fauci came out and said.
That's the best. We're closer to a couple years than we are to a couple weeks, by the way.
Facts.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, these people aren't smart.
I'll give you...
And they really have no fucking idea. Like, these gym owners had no idea.
Okay,
and neither did the federal government.
Okay, but the federal government made a fucking ruling. You know what I'm saying? There are companies that I wholeheartedly respect and love who, when all of this happened, said, our employees need to wear masks. Period, end sentence. Let's not have this argument. Let's not be the ones who are getting violations or fines.
By the way, before you go any further, I want to give a big thumbs up to the company that we work for.
Hold on, that's where I'm headed.
Oh.
So, we're not going to be the ones who are paying to not follow the rules. We're not going to look like we're against the government. We're going to do what we need to do to follow the rules. So, mask up. And the second that the government said, if you're vaccinated, take your mask off, we get an email, or these companies, it's not just us, that go, hey, this is a personal decision with the information that we have now, because the information has changed. So the rules have changed. With the information that we have now, the policy has changed now. That is not, in my opinion, that's not just following the sheep to the slaughter. You know what I mean? They're doing what they feel is their duty, their obligation. You know, our owner didn't go, nobody put masks on because I don't agree with masks. In fact, we don't know what that opinion is because it doesn't fucking matter. Nobody said, my opinion is this, so this is what we're doing. Nope. This is the new guideline. This is the rule we'll follow. Please don't be the one to fuck it up.
Well, let me ask you this. If he said, we're not going to follow that rule, would you have followed the rule or done what the owner said? It's up to you guys if you guys want to wear a mask or not.
You're dealing with 2 different sets of rules now. Because you've got 2 different sets of black and white. I would have probably...
You understand how situations are situational, Pat?
No, in this particular case, I would have followed the company, and B, paid with the company. If the punishment was handed down, it was, it is what it is. I didn't follow the government rules because the company that I was working at didn't follow the government rules, and here we are. I'm not against taking a punch on the chin. You know what I'm saying?
So then, if we all got arrested and put in jail for not wearing our mask,
and then they changed the mask law,
would you want to get out of jail? Or
would I want to get out of jail? Absolutely. Would I think that was fair? Not so much. Okay. Would I have been thankful for the unfair ruling? Absolutely. I'm being honest here. Yeah, don't get me wrong. And you know me, the people who are not getting in trouble for the laws that they broke, that are no longer laws, I'm on their side. I wholeheartedly support them not being in trouble on their side. I hope that none of them face any punishment for their actions. You with me?
Yeah.
But I don't think that the government is doing the right thing. Well, the government is saying, we're soft.
we're soft on.
That's fair. We're also soft on you not listening to what we say.
Well, isn't that the way of the world, Pat? Nobody listens to what anybody says, and they just do whatever the fuck they want to do anyway.
That's where we're headed.
I mean, I deal with that on a daily basis.
Yeah. And there's not much you can say about it because it's very easy to offend somebody.
Yeah, you can't. That's the other thing. You can't offend anybody. You can't tell anybody to eat shit and die anymore. Anyway, Pat, we went on a full fucking thing there, but see, Pat, that's what I like about our show. We
Topics
came into
are topical.
We try to pick topical topics for our show. That you and I had nothing really planned for today, and we could have done this live and had this hour-long conversation about what we did.
If we did that, we wouldn't have had a lovely biscuits, gravy, and eggs meal.
Made by Liz.
It was not made by Liz.
Yes, it was.
Liz stirred the gravy.
That was the most important part of the meal.
Was it the most important part of the meal?
Yes.
I'm not sure that I can agree with you.
The other thing, I want to tell you a story on Wednesday, and because we were so all over the place on Wednesday, it went by the wayside.
Oh, yeah.
And I forgot to tell you a story. So I want to tell a story because it's absolutely hilarious. So a family member of mine is in the hospital right now.
That is hilarious.
That's not the funny part.
Oh, okay.
You're
got awkward there for a second.
He listens to the show, so I hope he finds your humor in there.
Well, probably not in the hospital.
Why, he has earbuds?
Okay.
Anyway.
Hope you're feeling better.
So my mom was up here last week, and there's a lot of discussion around the reason why he's in the hospital or whatever, and a member of his life may have been an enabler of some sorts that landed him in the hospital without getting into too much detail. So we're talking about this. And my mom goes, well, that'd be like blaming Erica for you being fat and just eating all the time. Mind you, 10 minutes later, we're having a discussion about Oreo. And I tell Erica how I want Oreos. And then I'm trying to think, and now this is how I know that Erica and I are 100% meant to be together. Because we are always on the same wavelength. Okay, so I'm thinking in my head a reason that she would have to go to the store so that she could pick me up Oreos, but not just make a trip to get Oreos.
Right.
And this woman comes up to me. I was about to get on and start streaming with Mason. And she goes, I need to go to the store and get cat food. And I'm like, yes.
Did she know you wanted Oreos?
And I was like, pick me up some Oreos. She goes, oh, dear. Like, I don't want to be labeled that enabler. And so I'm like, come on, give me Oreos, you know? And so I play with Mason a couple hours. I go upstairs. She's in the living room. Everybody's asleep. And I go, hey, Erica, you get those Oreos? She goes, I left them in my car.
Nice.
So nobody knew I got them for you.
Just to be clear, you are 31, and you hide your Oreos from your mom.
No, that's not really what...
No, I just want to be clear.
I wasn't hiding them. Now, mind you...
You were afraid that your mom was going to catch you having a late-night snack.
So, look...
So you hid the evidence.
So, look, I don't know if I've explained my Oreo, the way I eat Oreos.
At great length.
On the show? Did I eat a roll a night?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you have
with a glass of milk.
And you dunk them until they're just soft enough, but not soggy. Yes, we have talked about this so heavily.
So, and usually
this should be the number 9 Oreos with Tommy at this point.
So I put... Usually I just leave the package on the nightstand when I go to bring them.
But in this particular case, because your mom's in town, you put them up in the attic under a box?
No. I put them in my nightstand. So nobody knew the difference.
Oh,
Erica.
My God.
Me and Erica were fucking dying about this. So I just want to tell you that story. I think we were talking about gum or something, tasting, putting it in your mouth. Does it count as calories or something like that? Oh, question for you, Pat. Since we're talking about it. Yesterday, bought a new grill, right? So, what do you do if you buy a new grill, Pat?
Barbecue.
Well, you say barbecue, but I cooked some steaks. They were not barbecue. But I cooked some steaks.
You cooked them on the barbecue grill?
No, I cooked them on the grill. It's not a barbecue grill. I didn't have barbecue sauce on it.
I don't think it's a barbecue sauce party. I don't think you need barbecue sauce to barbecue.
It must be a down south thing with the we
Everything's
barbecue.
a barbecue down there. Yeah.
Yeah, we're up here. It's a picnic.
You even say we're gonna barbecue some steaks. You're not actually putting barbecue sauce on the steaks. You're just barbecuing the steaks. You're cooking them on a barbecue.
You down south fucking hillbillies. That makes no sense. But anyway, so what kind of steak did I get? That
Ribeye.
Of course. So I'm eating my ribeye, and what does ribeye have a lot of?
Fat.
Yes, that's part of the steak, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got this piece, and you know how sometimes I always save the biggest piece of fat for last because I eat the fat by itself because it has all the flavor. Correct?
I do it backwards. I eat that piece first because as you get full, food doesn't taste as good. Like when you're hungry, food tastes much better. So I take that best bite at the most opportune time. But yes, I understand what you're saying.
Okay, so I take this piece of fat. Now it had a little bit of like cartilage on it. You know what I mean? So
Tom,
I couldn't really chew it.
Before you continue, I just want to tell you that a barbecue, by definition, goes two ways: noun or verb. Noun, a meal or gathering at which meat, fish, or other food is cooked out of doors on a rack, oven, an open fire, or on a portable grill. A portable grill used for the preparation of food at a barbecue or a brick fireplace containing a grill. The definition of barbecue is food cooked on a barbecue. The verb is to cook on a barbecue. I just want you said you backwards, rednecks, southerners. The difference between using the language properly and changing the language to fit your weird concept of what it should mean is the South versus the North. This is why the Civil War happened, Tom. Because you guys think that you know better.
We do.
Anyways.
You're a northerner, dude. I don't care what you say.
Well, you just said I was a dumb southerner.
Well,
I believe backwards was actually the term.
Yeah, why would I call you dumb pad? That'd be insulting.
I'm curious how you cook, but not on a barbecue.
I cook on a grill.
Go ahead. I don't know if you mean grill like the thing you cook on or grill like the thing that the gangsters wear in their mouth.
Definitely not things that the gangsters wear in their mouth. Anyway, I forgot where I was going. Oh, so anyway. So I'm chewing. It's my last piece, right? I'm chewing on it. But I can't break it up enough, right? So I get all the flavor I can out of it.
Yeah.
And then I spit it out. Does that count as calories, you think?
Did you swallow the contents of it?
No, just the flavor.
So yes, you swallowed.
No, just got the taste of it. I was like...
And then you spit it out. You didn't swallow anything.
No.
No, you're going to absorb some calories, but nothing compared to actually eating it. Also, that's called bulimia. Or anorexia. You know what? Bulimia, I think, is where you force vomiting. Anorexia is where you choose not to eat. You're in a weird hybrid of those two things because you're not really regurgitating. Like reverse peristalsis isn't taking place, but you are, in fact, getting rid of the thing you already took in. You are anulemic.
I'm a big guy.
I see your point, and by see your point, I mean your stomach.
I'm big on
everything.
The taste of food.
Yeah.
That's why we eat. Maybe this is a new thing for me.
Where you chew your food and spit it out bird feeding style?
Yeah.
It's an interesting plan. How would you okay, let's consider what you're talking about, right? You got a plate of food. First off, I don't know why make a whole plate. Unless
I'm not gonna put the stuff I already put in my mouth back in my mouth.
No,
the taste is already gone.
Okay, let's start with you're gonna put a garbage next to you while you're eating?
Sure.
Okay. So you're going to swallow, like, the vegetables and the fruits?
No.
I don't understand.
I'm not going to swallow anything. I'm going to put it in my mouth, I'm going to chew it, I'm going to spit it out.
You're not going to get enough sustenance. You're going to have to choose to actually take in the vitamin and mineral rich foods.
Why? I just need to lose a bunch of weight.
Yeah, that's going to involve actually eating still. You still got to eat. But
at some point, I'm going to wither away to nothing.
No, hold on. So you swallow like your green beans, but you spit out your steak. I think you're onto something. Would you eat the steak first or the green beans first?
Green beans first.
Okay, so you're going to eat what you actually are going to eat.
Yeah, and then taste what I want to taste.
I bet you that is significantly... I realize we're doing this in jest. I bet you it would be nearly impossible to do because it's such a natural reflex to swallow the food in your mouth once it's chewed up. I bet it would be incredibly difficult.
If there's a steak that goes in your mouth, you fucking swallow it. I mean,
yeah, I'm not talking about spitting my food back out. That's out.
I think I'm gonna do it.
What are you gonna do with your Oreos?
Maybe I'll just mush them around my mouth, spit it out, and then drink some milk. The milk is actually probably good for you.
Okay.
To wash it out.
I'm not against it.
The Oreos are so good though.
It's gross.
We got Blizzard yesterday too. After we're done with this, you want to go get a Blizzard?
No.
A Rocky Road Blizzard?
Miss Elizabeth does want to go to an actual farm, like there's one in Avon, where they make their own ice cream, and that shit's 100 times better than other ice cream. If you want to go do that, you can get an Oreo Blizzard there. It just wouldn't be called the Blizzard.
You know they do that at Ruit, right? We don't drive all the way to Avon.
Ruit?
The farm?
Oh, really? Right up by your house?
Yeah, there's an ice cream place.
No shit. That's super close.
Shit.
That's like 5 minutes away.
It's probably the same distance to Dairy Queen, which is where I'm gonna go. Actually, dude, we should go get the $1 ice cream cone from McDonald's.
I'll tell you what's not good is Burger King ice cream.
That I believe. But McDonald's ice cream is good. That's why the ice cream chain's always broken.
Yeah, no shit. It was funny. I went to the McDonald's drive-thru. We all wanted breakfast the other day. I went through the drive-thru, and the fucking dude was working on the ice cream machine, and I just like laughed to myself so hard in the drive-thru. Thanks. My brother is huge on the difference between Dairy Queen and Carpe. I gotta tell you, to me, ice cream is ice cream. There's no fucking difference. And then we went to Carvel.
And you realize that's so much better.
No, it's not. Dairy Queen is significantly better ice cream. Right? Carvel's the one with the Fudgy the Whale?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's not good.
The Carvel's the place where we went and met that girl. The skinny girl?
That might actually be why the food doesn't taste that good, because that girl was there.
Remember? Nah, man, we should go there and get that Dasher I got.
What the fuck?
It's like,
We're going to Ruin. I thought we just agreed on
that. No, I never said I was going there.
It's literally 2 feet from your house.
Yeah, that would involve me going out there, and they're not going to have a Blizzard. They're also not going to have this Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Dasher.
Hold on, you think this place that serves ice cream doesn't have Oreos to smash up and put in it?
And blend it together and make it thick? Where you can turn it upside down and not fall out of the cup? No.
Oh my god. Why is Carvel not sponsoring us?
That's Dairy Queen.
Sorry.
You dumb fuck.
Whatever. No, they have the Carvalanches, don't they?
Carvel does.
Oh,
they also have the Dashers. Can I finish telling you about the Dasher?
Yeah, what's the Dasher?
The Dasher is like, have you ever had, oh my god, dude, we should go to Friendly's and get a Reese's Peanut Butter Sundae.
Where the fuck is our Friendly's other than Naugatuck?
Bristol.
Really?
Route 6.
It's still open?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should go there.
No. Hold on. You won't go 5 feet from your house because it's too far, but you will go.
I never said it was too far. They're not going to have what I want.
You don't think they have cookies to crush into their ice cream?
I don't think they have the blender to make it nice and thick.
You don't think they serve milkshakes?
No.
I'm willing to make you a bet right now.
I'm willing to make you a bet that they don't serve soft serve, which is what you need to make a Blizzard. You can't make a Blizzard with hard ice cream.
Why not?
Because it doesn't mix. Just like, it's not the same.
You don't think they make milkshakes with their regular ice cream?
I have no idea. What I do know...
I agree, soft serve is significantly better.
And if you turn a milkshake upside down, it pours out of the cup. If you turn a Blizzard, Carvalanche, any of those upside down, they'll fall out of the cup.
You just tell them to use less milk.
Why don't we just go to a place that has what I want?
Because Liz wants to go to a farm.
So, you and Liz can go to a farm today. You guys weren't planning on doing this today?
Yes, we were.
This is news to me. As far as I know, we were working on the podcast all day.
This is after the podcast.
So, time.
Oh, I don't know. How late do you plan on working on the podcast? We're talking like 6?
Yeah, probably.
You're full of shit. You're streaming today.
Maybe, if I get there.
This is the worst episode of the show ever recorded.
Why?
Because we're just debating. Well, first off, you're lying.
I'm not lying. What am I lying
you
about?
Are. Your plan was not to work on the fucking show till 6.
I don't know what time I was planning on working until... I was planning on being out of here by now, but here we are at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, I thought you were planning on being here till 6.
Here we are at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, still working on the podcast.
Well, it's been thoroughly enjoyable. We have several stories that we're still not going to get to, just like every episode, where we have all kinds of stories to go over, and then we cover one at length.
So we're not going to get Carvel.
We're not going to carve out. We're not talking about Chrissy Teigen. We're not talking about James Franco. We're not talking about Seth Rogen. We're really not doing much today.
Pat, you said this is the worst episode of the show? I think this was a very good episode. Somehow we pulled it out again, Pat. Pause right now?
No, it's an expression. It's like no homo. Can I tell you, I've told everybody that you learned on the last episode that dyke was a offensive word, and it has
Pat, please do not use that word on the show. Please do not use that word on the show.
I used it in the appropriate term, or
so
in the appropriate context. I did not use it derogatory.
I did not use it derogatory at all.
You literally said, "Oh, that's the dyke."
Yeah.
That's derogatory.
How is that? She was called a dyke on the show, dude. I don't know how.
If you had said that, that's not derogatory.
I did afterwards.
Yeah.
I explained why I used the word.
It's the same thing. You can't break the law and then be forgiven when the law changes.
The law didn't change.
No, it did not. You were in the wrong.
I was like, yo, that's that rug muncher from the show. I said
that's pretty much what you said, yes.
No, it's not.
Equal, if not more.
Jeez. You're really stuck on this.
Why
are you so offended?
I'm not offended at all. I think it's hysterical.
You think it's hysterical that I offend people?
No, I think it's hysterical that you didn't realize that term was a naughty word.
I've also asked many people about this, and they all said the same thing that you did.
No shit. I'm not making these things up as we go.
Pretty upset.
I've asked other people.
Pretty upset about it.
I can only imagine those people like, hey, you'll never believe what Tom asked me today.
I asked the woman that works with us.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, it's like using the word cunt. And I was like, what, that's offensive?
Oh my God.
I guess it's all. Have you ever watched Jim Jeffries?
It's fucking amazing.
Have you ever watched Jim Jeffries?
Yes.
He uses the word cunt all the time, but it's because he's from Australia where that's acceptable.
In Europe, yeah, cunt is like just kind of like asshole.
Yeah. But he says it in his comedy sketches, and I'm like, this is, and he's really, he seems, I would say he is a libertarian, probably. Like, he's like right down the middle of both sides of the aisle. You know what I mean? So I'm surprised that he pushes that word so much. But I guess once it's part of your vocabulary, it's kind of hard to change.
Well, again, it's got a different amount of impact over
there. Yeah, but he lives here now. Like,
yeah, it's whatever. He is who he is, man.
So that makes it okay. I am who I am, and I'm a piece of shit because I said the word dyke.
Hey, let me ask you. If somebody comes from a different country, let's say in Ireland, it's legal to punch somebody in the face if you have a disagreement. Okay? So you come to America, and somebody says something you don't like, so you punch them in the face, and you get arrested for it. Do you feel like you should have two options? You can either sit in a prison in America or go back to Ireland because it's not against the law there?
Are they a legal U.S. citizen? No? Then they should have two options. They should have to go back to Ireland.
Okay, what if they are a U.S. citizen?
And then they should have to sit in prison.
So, just because they broke the law, they should have to pay, even though it's not against the law where they're from.
But if they're a U.S. citizen?
Yeah.
Then they've
taken some kind of weird work-study program.
Then they should have to go back.
And face no punishment.
No punishment. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Get the fuck out of here, Mick.
Wow. For the record, Mick, also on the list.
I know. You brought that up last show. You also said, what was the other one? WAP, I think, for Italians?
I said Guinea. WAP works too.
I called Johnny P. Twitch there.
Yeah.
He was over yesterday. And I called him a WAP.
Yeah.
He thought it was funny.
Yeah.
He's not sensitive, though. So.
I don't quite get why kind of like every different...
I wish people would call me a WAP because I love Whoppers. So...
Why is it funny that they called you a Whop? It's actually short for Whopper Killer.
Yeah. By the way, Wednesdays, I believe they stopped the deal on the Whoppers.
If you go on the Burger King app, there is a $2 triple Whopper.
Oh, it's $2 all the time? Or is it just on Wednesdays?
No, all the time.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I almost got one yesterday.
No, you're lying.
Why would I lie about that?
We're checking this right now because guess what? Pat lives within walking distance from a Burger King.
I actually walked to Burger King to get chicken sandwiches for Liz and I yesterday.
You walked there?
Yeah.
Why? You have a car?
Because the dog.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh my! No, it's a $3 double Whopper. You said $2.
It's close. $2 triple Whopper, $3 double Whopper.
Whoa, dude, that's two different things, man.
I said I was close.
I don't even think you were close on that one. You had it completely backwards.
You wouldn't pay $3 for a double Whopper?
Not when I can get one for $2 on Wednesdays.
You can't.
I'm gonna check on Wednesdays. I haven't been eating Burger King because I'm trying to watch my weight. And
so where have you been eating?
McDonald's. That's a true story. I'm fucking disgusting. I wish I had a friend that could help me lose weight. Like actually cared about me and not just talked about it and actually like
I have a gym downstairs in my house and I've offered for you to come.
You do not have a gym down here.
What?
You do not have a gym down here.
There's a full machine, there's a heavy bag, there's boxing gloves, there's catch mitts, and there's an exercise bike. What more do you need? You want a fucking treadmill? Go for a walk.
That's not the same as a treadmill.
What more do you want in the
People
gym?
see me walking outside.
So if I was like, hey, Tom, let's go to the gym, what do you think we would do? Because you've been to the gym with me.
I don't know. I know that it wasn't fun.
I thought it was great.
I just wish a friend would like give me some motivational speeches. And be like, hey, Tom, do you want me to bring you a salad for lunch instead of you eating Burger King or
How
McDonald's?
about this for a motivational speech? Tom, I don't have to bring you a salad for lunch because in about 3 days you're going to have your own gravitational pull and one's going to slam into you.
That's not very nice.
You wanted a speech, you got a speech.
You said
Just wait till the guy next to you starts eating and have his fucking food enter your atmosphere.
You think I'm so much bigger than you, bro.
Listen,
it looks like you're getting awfully comfortable with Liz, is all I'm saying.
I didn't ask you for a motivational speech, douchebag.
Oh, I'm sorry that I asked for a friend.
Liz and I are going to start tomorrow morning.
I hope so. For your sake. She looks fine.
Yes, she does.
I hope, for your sake, in the diabetes.
This is what happened. I saw an image of myself.
Isn't that the worst?
So
Imagine yourself coming out of a water slide, looking like Uncle Fester.
I'm bigger than I was thinking, admittedly. But I only gain and lose weight in two fucking places, and that's my stomach and my big fat head. And that's the picture. My neck is so big. And I can trim down all I want. I still have a big neck. So there's where your problem is. Because as soon as I start to put weight on, my big neck looks fucking huge. So I saw the neck.
When I met you didn't have a big neck.
If I was 100 pounds, like if I lost all that weight,
You're one of those fat guys that has fucking triple necks on the back of his head.
I was just going to say that. If I lost all of my excess weight, if I was in perfect peak physical condition, I would still have hot dogs on the back of my head. So it doesn't look good when I put on a couple pounds.
This is what's saying is you don't.
It looks like my hot dogs turned into sausages. That's where I'm at. I'm barbecuing behind myself every day.
I gotta tell you, that's one of the most disgusting things I find on big people.
It's super fucking weird.
It's super gross.
But it's not something that I can control.
I don't know. Do some fucking neck exercise.
I like that when I remember like...
Maybe you should get one of those... You ever see that National Geographic? The people in, I think it's Africa, where they get the neck extensions, and they actually extend their neck up.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe you should get one of those.
Well, I could be taller.
I'm not saying you need to be taller.
No, what I'm saying is... It would solve that problem as well. I'd be taller. And that would put me into a different class. You know, like instead of being 5'9", if I was 5'11", then it would be socially acceptable for me to weigh more. You asked me if I think I'm 5'9"?
Yeah.
I am 5'9".
I don't think you are.
I literally measure 5 feet 9 inches. Or 69 inches. Nice.
I don't think so.
What do you think, Mr. GoldenEye?
I think you're 5'7".
5'7".
5'7" and a half.
What are you basing that on?
My height.
Are you 5'7"?
No.
What are you?
I'm not willing to admit this on the show.
Or do you think
my
that's your...
license says I'm 5'7", but I am not.
Do you think you're taller than me or shorter than me?
Short.
Okay. And you know for a fact that you're shorter than 5'7" based on that. Interesting.
And I don't think you're 4 inches taller than me.
You're 5'5"?
No, I'm like 5'6", and a quarter.
Well, that's 3 inches taller than you. Less
I don't
than
think you're
3
3 inches taller than me. I don't think you're a penis length taller than me.
Nice. That's great.
I had a good name for the show. I forget what it was. I think... Oh, I got it.
What's that?
Situations are situational.
How's that a good name for the show? That's literally ever.
Yeah, but we talked about it a lot in the show.
It's true. Are you ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, I guess. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you on Wednesday live from the Rape Dungeon. You want to hear a funny story real quick? So Colin helped with most of the yard work yesterday.
That is funny.
So we had dinner last night. It's like 7:45. I go up. I lay down in bed. I fall asleep. Erica comes in and wakes me up, and I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta go stream." So I take a shower. Get out of the shower. I go downstairs, and Colin starts screaming for me from downstairs. Like there's somebody in my house. I'm debating whether or not I go downstairs or I run upstairs to get a gun. Like that's where I'm at. And he gets up into the kitchen and he's like, "I was covered in ticks. I was covered in ticks." He's freaking out. I'm like, "What do you mean? How many ticks did you see?" "They're all over me. They're all over me." I'm like, "Well, where are they now?" And he's like, "I flipped them off of me." And I'm like, "Well, dum, you gotta kill them because they'll stay alive and then get back on your skin." And I'm like, "Go upstairs, take your clothes off, and check yourself." Then he yells down, "Should I change my clothes?" "Yes. And you should wash the ones you have on." "Yeah." So he comes back downstairs and I'm like, "Where's the ticks?" So we go in his room and there's one. He found one fucking tick on him and he's acting like he was covered in ticks.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys very bad at bugs in your family.
Yeah, I'm not a big bug guy. But
Except for Erica. Erica's not a sissy.
I don't know, I gotta use a mean word. You know what else I forgot to do?
What's that?
Bring the thumb drive.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, so now we gotta upload this from here. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys.
I say, good day.